it's me, Anne-Marie Saftig, not a foodie, remember? Today it's getting cold outside. We're gonna make a nice soup. I call it, we got the Beets Borscht. And it's not a traditional borscht, so if you're Ukrainian or Polish or Russian, please don't call me yelling. This is Anne-Marie Saftig's not a foodie borscht, okay? We have everything prepared, but I want you to know that in my kitchen, a bag of already chopped up cabbage is a must-have. You know, I'm not a chef and I'm not a foodie, but I do like little creature comforts like the cabbage. When I buy it, I chop it up. First of all, it takes less room in the fridge. Second of all, it's good for salad. So when you're making soup, I like to do things my way. I like to chop up some red onion nice and small. Don't worry, I'm going to give you close-ups for everything. Plus the recipe is going to tell you everything. Then the cabbage, aforementioned, already chopped, you just place it. This is going to go in a pot of 3 tablespoons olive oil first. Let it saute. You see, I have the pink beet fingers. You know, I've been in the kitchen getting ready for you. Also, a nice basis for soup and the traditional mirepoix. It's chopped celery and carrot, which goes with the onion. I like to do the cabbage ahead because it's very strong and it needs to be softened so nicely. After you put the onion and the cabbage and saute until soft, you're going to add the carrot and celery, stirring also. Then that's when you put your salt, okay? It's going to sweat the vegetables. That's a fancy foodie word for let the juice come out of the vegetables. And it's all going to put a beautiful flavor in the borscht. Also, what is the starring one in the Beets borscht soup? It's the beets. We got the beets. I like to grate the beets for my borscht. Some people slice it, other people, they actually take the juice of the beets and they don't let any of the fiber in them. I'm going to tell you, I like all the vegetables to stay in my soups. So we're going to grate it. 5 beets worth because it's so good for you, okay? Be careful with the grater, but don't be scared. You just have to make sure that it's going nice, small, beautiful shavings of beets. I'm going to show you with a close-up. Don't worry. There you go. That's 5 beautiful beets or beetroots, as the foodies like to call it. There, it's all ground up, ready for the soup. You got your spices and seasonings and your olive oil all ready to go. Okay, what you want is a nice soup pot. I don't have a fancy stock pot like some, but I like a nice big colorful pot to make those soups to keep you so warm in this cold, cold weather where we are living, okay? That's important that it has a nice amount of space. You're going to fill it right up and there. Everything's getting ready. Let's go. Can you hear it sauteing and sizzling? It's going to be so fantastic. Now we're going to put the other part of the mirepoix, another fancy foodie term, but we're not foodies. It's carrot and celery for the soup base. Garlic, it's optional, okay? But when I have the garlic already minced, my life is so beautiful, you know? You don't have to waste all your time chopping a little tiny cloves of garlic. But if you like it, go with the fresh or even get fancy roasted garlic like they do on those other cooking shows. Me, I just like to put a quick teaspoon of the garlic in the soup while it's in the saute mode before the liquid goes in, okay? In addition to the beets, you know what you have to have for the most beautiful borscht you're ever gonna taste, and that's dill. Lots and lots of dried dill. And you can put it in the saute mode, or you can put it in after. Me, I prefer to give everything the longest chance to get the flavor in, you know? So how much do I put? A lot. In the written recipe, I will try and figure it out. But you know what? It's Anne-Marie, and look at my hands. I'm loving it. Lots. Maybe 2 tablespoons of dried dill for the borscht. Look at it, so beautiful. getting all the flavors. We have the salt and the pepper in there, and all the vegetables are getting nice and soft. Then after that, we're gonna add mushroom broth. Now, if you're making traditional borscht, sometimes it's vegetarian and sometimes we use the beef stock. But today, we're gonna use mushroom broth for making it a vegan soup. After the vegetables start to get soft, I like to put a little splash of the mushroom broth. Just a splash, enough just to cover. You're going to find out why. It cooks down and it makes the most miraculous broth. And that's keeping all the vegetables. None of these stocks where you're throwing everything back out into the garbage. I don't understand it. Listen, it's the star of the show. The grated beets. It's gonna be so good. I just roll my G like I'm all fancy, like some kind of a foodie. Anyway, when the mushroom broth is cooked down a little bit, making it so rich broth with all the vegetables, then you're gonna put the grated beet in, and then you're gonna add even more, mushroom broth, okay? And how do you get mushroom broth, you're gonna ask me? You can either boil the kettle and put some dried mushrooms in a container and pour the hot water over it, or you can buy a box of mushroom broth. It's easy. I like to add another 2 cups of water to the broth to make it a little thinner, because you believe it or not, even without meat and dairy, and it's gonna cook right down, and you want to keep adding the liquid. It's gonna get so rich, you're gonna love it. It's not scary one bit today. Oh my goodness, look at it, so rich and so beautiful. That color, it's only found in beets, you know what I mean? This is where the patience comes in. You're gonna let it come to a gentle boil and stir, and then you're going to put it on simmer and just keep an eye on it. Don't leave it unattended for too long, but you know, safety first in the Not a Foodie kitchen. Then you can go and prepare whatever you're going to serve with it. I'm highly recommending some bread or some nice crackers. Some people put sour cream in their borscht when they serve it, but that's not vegan, as you know if you're vegan. But there's vegan sour cream. Maybe we're going to learn that another day.